Let's focus on bridge pose. I've got an unwanted guest here. He won't be with us when we actually bridge. Please bring along a block. It's not that boring. See you in a bit. We're going to head on down to our backs. So bring yourself down, bring your block with you, or your block-shaped item. And what I want you to do is, on the lowest setting of the block, reach your hips up, and we're just going to plant this block underneath the sacrum. So just above the bum, there's a big flat bone just before it gets to the back, and just release yourself down onto that. And we're just taking a couple of first stretches to work into the hip flexors and the thighs to get you ready to hit that bridge with everything that you've got. So bring your right knee into the chest. Lay your left leg long. It might come down to the floor, it might dangle there. Bring that right knee in. Feel the kind of opposition between left toes, or the stretch between left toes and right knee. So that length, feel the length all the way down this left side. Snuggle those shoulder blades down onto the mat. Take a deep breath. And then let's place that right foot down onto the mat. Bring the left knee into the chest, send that right leg long. Find that stretch on the other side. So length between left knee and right toes. Feeling that stretch all the way down the right hand side. Getting us nice and warm and prepared and ready to cross that bridge. Release that foot down, so sorry. Reach the hips up, slide that block out from underneath you. Keep it close by, because we're going to grab it in one sec. Now, make sure that you're stacked up and ready to go. So your hips and your knees are all kind of parallel. Your heels are stacked underneath knees. Send your hands down to the floor and just make sure that your fingertips can graze your heels. So you might walk your heels in slightly, just to make sure that you're ready there. And we're going to start by using the block between the thighs to really encourage our body to know what to engage to lift us up into this pose. So you're going to have to squeeze the block together between the thighs, use those glutes to lift it all the way up. Just before we begin, press those hands down into the mat and make your hips heavy and just press your lower back down into the mat. It might be interesting to almost take a couple of cat-cows on your back. So arching the spine and then pressing the back down into the floor, and then get smaller with this movement, and you'll feel that really flat back, which is where you want to start from here. Pressing your back down into the mat. Now press the hands down too. And as we inhale, let's lift the hips, squeeze that block in between the thighs. Oh, feel everything switch on, press those hips a little higher. Keep those hands pressed down into the mat for now. Really squeeze that block between the thighs. Feels like a fair bit. And then release it down. So, if that feels really good for you, you can always stick with this. The block is a really useful tool to really help you find that connection and what you need to be squeezing and activating to lift you. I'm just going to show you a couple of other kind of options, and we're going to progress into some kind of more opening back bending. So get rid of your block for the moment, but feel free to use it if you would like it. Press those hands back down into the mat. Now let's lift without the block. So press your hands down, press the hips down for a moment, and then start to peel yourself up. Now, can you feel like you've got a block between your thighs still? So hug those thighs in towards each other. Press your hips high. Feel that activation still without the blocks. Without the block, singular. And feel like you're pulling your heels back towards your head. You should really feel everything activating. Keep pressing those hips high. Lovely. Take one more breath. And then release it down. Your bridge pose, hey? Now we're just going to do one final version. which lots of you may be familiar with in kind of doing various yoga flows. We're going to clasp the hands underneath, and that turns it more into a back bend. But I want you to keep that base that we've been finding with those other moves that we've been doing when we go into the back bend. So start the same way, pressing hands down into the mat. Press your hips down, feel that connection with the back to the floor first. And then let's start to press the hips up. Feel that activation between the thighs, like there's a block there. Activate the bum. Maybe activate that pelvic floor. Really breathe into this. Keep lifting. Feel like those heels are coming back towards the body. And then maybe you start to snuggle the shoulders underneath you and clasp the hands. Now keep pressing those hips high. Keep hugging those thighs in towards each other, but maybe you get a little bit of an extra back bend here. Yes, one more breath here. And then gently unsnuggle your shoulders, plant your palms back down, and then send yourself back down to the mat. And then just bring your knees in for a squeeze. Lovely. Just gently, slowly. Oh yeah. Well, there you have it. Bridge pose. No troubled water for this bridge. Hey? I hope you enjoyed. Check out some more of my striker pose videos where we go through poses in a bit more detail, or flow with me again. I'll see you on the mat soon.